Alright, so I used a razor blade like this. You might want to use something a little bit better than this, but what I ended up doing is I ended up just scoring a line where it separates, so that it separates the glue from the both sides so you can pull it off easily. Like I said, once you do that, there's a little bit more glue than the last one I had on there. Then you just stick a screwdriver flathead underneath here, give it a little, wedge it in there. Then you'll see the top should start to split. Then once you do that real carefully, pull it right off, and there you go. The old joystick is out. Alright, and the new joystick, if you got the right one hopefully, should mount up perfectly with these holes here. I believe the Sanwa joystick has a mounting that you mount it this way. I didn't get that kind of joystick this time. I just got another JLF because I really like it. So that'll bolt up perfectly here. So with that out of the way, you can go to the buttons, or you can go and just replace it with the JLF. But before I do my JLF, I'm going to go over how to modify that a little bit. Some easy steps that you can kind of kick up the performance a little bit. So I'll be doing that next. Okay, time to install the JLF, whether it's modified or not. Obviously you shouldn't have anything on this end, or you're not going to be able to get it through. But the biggest concern that you need to figure out, and just kind of be innovative about it, and like I mentioned before, this piece will slide out. There's no the micro switches do not have, on the prong here, do not have that plastic piece to help this stay in. So what you're going to have to do is make sure when you're looking at this too, is the part with the rails, right? The part where the tab usually goes, make sure that's facing towards the bottom, like down. Okay, so if you put it on backwards, it's going to be all screwed up, but usually it's already kind of tending to go in that direction. So anyway, you put this on, and then you want to try to put some tape on this piece here, the inside piece, the prong, the male end I should say, and then like that. And sometimes you might want to just check it, push it in as far as you can go, and get that tape on there like that. And then you can cut this piece, or you can just do something like that where it just attaches to the wires, and that should pretty much help it from coming off. Like, I forgot to put tape on it the first time, and it lasted a pretty long time without it falling off, but I think I ended up dropping the joystick, and this piece fell out. And it will fall off pretty easily, but once everything's bolted together, depending on how hard you use your joystick, it actually can come off. So I wouldn't put any tape on the metal contacts or anything like that, but just put a little piece of tape here. If you want to take a screwdriver and pat it down, make sure it's actually sticking pretty good, and then make sure it's sticking on that piece, and you should be good to go. So you just put it back in. Okay. Alright, like that. Put the 4 screws back in, and that's pretty much the first step of getting that in. And then I'm going to go over how to put on the bat top. So obviously you can see which 4 you can't really screw it up as long as this is on the facing towards your right and the joystick's on your right. You can't really screw this part up. So put your 4 screws in, and then it's on to the next step. Alright, I got the 4 screws in. That's plugged in. The tape's on there. If you want to, because maybe you're nervous about whether you did everything right, you can plug this into your system. Just be careful, don't touch any of the wires. Don't, you can even just screw the plate on with a couple of screws on each corner if you feel like maybe that's what you want to do. Adjust this. And just to make sure you have that set up right, you can do that, and then you can go ahead and bolt you know, everything else down. But I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing. I've done this a few times. But like I said, you can just test it. Just don't touch any of the metal parts while you're plugged in and testing. So anyway, with that in, the next thing, as you can tell, I don't have anything on there, and you get a dust shield, which I can never seem to pick up. Alright, so you have one side that's got like watermarks in it, like look at design, and you got a flat side that has manufacturing circles on there. That goes down first. Okay, it's your dust cover. The next one is the shaft. Now, if you don't want to use this, you don't have to. You just have to use your old Madcatz sleeve, because that's got the thinner or the smaller hole, so it'll cover it up. So go ahead. So I actually like this on there. Put that on there and make sure you can see your threads. And the next thing is, obviously, you know, if you have this, you screw that on with the screwdriver on the other side. You just twist one or the other. But if you went ahead and bought one of these bat tops, and you did get an adapter, hopefully you did. If you didn't get an adapter, you're kind of in trouble. And the reason is the inside is too big, so it doesn't fit. So the way it works is, first you gotta get your adapter, and just screw that on as far as you can. Let's see. Okay, that's good enough. You've got the adapter on, then you take your bat top and you put that on next. Screw that on a little bit. And just like before, better screwdriver. Okay. You can twist the screwdriver end or the other end, doesn't really matter. So it's pretty tight, don't go too crazy with it. Okay. And there you have it. Bat top installed. Pretty interesting. It actually feels pretty good. It's different, so I'm not gonna, you know, use it the same way. Like, this is kind of how I use ball top, but I guess you can technically do the same thing. It actually doesn't feel too bad. So I got that installed on there. I like it, so I'm gonna keep it on there for a while. And it fits right over the black sleeve, so it looks pretty good there. The next thing we're gonna do, now that this is out of the way, we're going to go ahead and start replacing some buttons. I haven't decided whether I'm keeping the black or if I'm going to move some white buttons over. I think I might keep the black there. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to remove these buttons on the next step here.